All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm bringing you the tea. All right. Um, so check this out. I have been assaulted verbally from Stefan once again. Today, what I really want to talk about is his, again, like his dishonesty, and his gross manipulation of language in order to either simultaneously be the aggressor and the victim, his manipulative tendencies, the fact that that not only are they demonstrated with me, but they pervade other aspects and other relationships in his life. I'll be honest, he's a manipulator, is what he does. He's very yeah, and he's very vocally abusive. Now, if you take that as the woe is me and he just berates you, I mean, yeah, in some cases that is the case. But when I say abusive, what I mean is that he abuses, takes advantage of, and exploits um the the symbolism of language when it's convenient for him. He makes things overly literal or completely metaphorical when he does these things. So he sends me some articles regarding the Trump Canada stuff. Honestly, I'm not going to go into too much about that, but I wish these countries stood their fucking ground a little bit. I understand why they did not. But nonetheless, even if you are granted concessions, the means by which you're engaging in these negotiations, whether it's through economic or forceful pressure or militaristic pressure, is largely inappropriate, especially when you're dealing with allies and two of our largest trading partners. We should more often than not, consider diplomatic means as opposed to forms of coercion. But this is only one example, but Stefan will commonly applaud behavior like this because he himself is a bully and he looks favorably upon those who enact their will on other people. Um, so that's my 2 cents. He can argue otherwise. Largely, this is not true. I mean, yeah, he's a bully. He's a grown ass man. He's a bully. So he sends me this article both on Instagram and on text. On Instagram, I say some shit, and he's just like, I was like, yeah, cool, thanks for the misinformation. And he's like, bro, you just can't have a casual conversation. And don't get me wrong, I can have casual conversations, I can. But when we approach things from a similar frame of reference, when we have understanding of facts, and we're just stating opinions, what the shit that he's sending me, the things that he's doing is largely not on the basis is not we're not discussing opinions a majority of the time. If we were, we could have like a civil conversation. I'd be more than willing to listen to a person's thought process because that's what we're exploring. In this instance, we are not exploring a thought process of an individual. We are exploring their interpretations of like not even their interpretations, it's something deeper than that. We're exploring their reality, right? Which of course has some interpretive aspect to it, but it's how they consume objective information, right? It's more than just I have an opinion, but here's my completely fabricated view of like an objective thing. Um, there's often not rationale or logic behind it. It often isn't supported by anything, and therefore there's not really much to discuss. If you want to argue about leprechauns and I want to argue about unicorns, quite frankly, we could have that conversation. That's a matter of opinion. There isn't really factual basis, and we can engage on some debate, bro, hypothetical level of theory there, right? That could be an interesting conversation. This is not that. Because when you make these things conjecture and other goofy shit, like this isn't we're not going over interpretations. We're not going over like you're misrepresenting things in order to prove a point. I mean, it's it is word for word misinformation. I have not read all of these texts. I think towards the bottom, these are newer to me. I haven't actually read them. So let's go through it. Not conjecture, dweeb, straight out of the horse's mouth. Seems like your beloved Dems were probably laundering money. Okay, cool. Which I don't think is the case because we have the GOA, the Government Office of Accountability. I don't think large sums of money get laundered anywhere. There are projects that, of course, have TSIC or whatever clearance that aren't publicly available, but like we know how much money is allocated, maybe not what the specific projects were, but like there are means to track government spending. Anyway, all these people net worth factually blows up after they get in office, term limits and ban. Cool. I don't, yep, excellent. Bet that's heat. So now I say, so it wasn't a fun convo earlier. You were actually spreading misinformation, right? It was, hence the use of the word dweeb. Fun conjecture, opinion, and facts all in one is called human conversation based. Glad you have fun misrepresenting facts, right? Because, like I said, I'm more than happy to talk on a basis of opinion with you, but more often than not, we don't get to this level of our conversations. We are stuck at a very high level, debating like reality and what's true and what isn't. More often than not, he can present something, but it doesn't have any social, historical, or legal context behind it. Hence, it's being misrepresented to further a point. And we have to, I feel, I have to spend a majority of my time framing conversations before we actually get into any political discussions, where we get to express on a matter of opinion. He doesn't realize this, and it's because he's low IQ, but that's cool. And he doesn't understand the onus and the work that I have to do to frame these things, to gain an understanding and to form opinions. It requires, well, to form an opinion, you can just have one, but to form a strong opinion, it requires some level of factual like basis. I disagree with Supreme Court decisions. That's my opinion. I have my logic for it, and that's that. In the end of the day, these people are fucking Supreme Court justices who've been doing it for 30 years. More than likely, guess what? I'm gonna have to appeal to authority on that one and say, you know what? Fucking, I'm wrong, but I have an opinion, right? And then we can argue the validity or logic of said opinion, right? That's kind of where the fun comes in, right? Is the stress testing of your logic and your reasoning. The shit that you do, the shit that you add to the conversation, your personality, right? That's where the fun comes in. This article is not fun. That's not look at me, I'm a quirky little libertarian that doesn't trust the government. Like this is beyond fucking stupid. See, you so busy trying to be right, I can't even talk to you on a human level anymore, G. I was never interested in having conversations with you because you're fucking insane. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? You talk to your friends about misrepresenting facts in a regular conversation? Yes, because that's what you're doing. I mean, no, I don't feel I don't, why would I engage with you about the Dems laundering money? And, oh, it's just a little quirky joke. It's just a little like, haha, what if? Um, I specifically said if on Instagram. I know we had a reading problem in America, but I was attempting to respect the fact that you're picky and hyper specific. But go crazy. I'm not even sure how you have casual conversations though. When people aren't blatantly wrong, it's very easy to have casual conversations. Notice the word seems is called theory and hypothesis based on facts. Zelensky provided, and the facts of elected officials seem net worth exploding. You're smart. I'm sure you can realize I didn't state it as a fact. I'm sure you're smart. Probably reading, man. But hard times, just my opinion, whatever. So previous conduct paired with your manipulation of language don't work on me, bud. LO, take that elsewhere. So this is my main point of what I wanted to talk to. His manipulation of language. He will consistently use the words probably and hedge bets, right? He will kind of hedge a little escape route in a lot of his conversations, which is a common manipulative tactic, so that if he is ever proven wrong, if something doesn't quite go his way or his logic turns out to be faulty, he can quickly leave and say, I was just exploring the idea. I'll be honest, it's a quite frankly, it's a scumbag fucking tactic to like not stand on business. It's all right to be wrong. His ego won't allow him to be that. So guess what? He constantly lays these escape routes for himself in our typical conversations. He did this during the California fire videos on the Moderately Educated News Network, right? Where I say that there's I don't think that California gave aid to Ukraine. I would have to see that somewhere. Like I had no knowledge of that, right? And then it came out, he showed an article, and so by what you what you have to realize when he does these things is when he's just stating a fact, right? He's just, I'm just saying, bro, it's to further your point. You just made an argument based off this fact that you presented, and you said some extra shit to prove your point. This isn't just a little quirk, here's a little fact. Facts in a vacuum don't necessarily provide any additional information. Facts often, much like numbers and statistics, require some context and interpretation or in order to derive like meaning from them. So when you say California gave aid to Ukraine and there's a budget shortage, the logical conclusion, what you're implying is maybe if they didn't give that aid, they'd be able to better fight those fires. Well, they have an $800 million budget. The or eight, yeah, they have some ridiculous budget. I forgot the number. But this is what you imply by doing that. But then when I call you out on it, I'm just saying, those words didn't leave my mouth. I'm just saying, why would you bring something like that up? Why would you say, oh, they're obviously they're lacking funding, but they're still giving money away, as you're implying that they mismanaged the budget and are currently and that's currently affecting the actions that they're taking. Again, is this language thing a hard science? No, absolutely not. I'm entitled to my own opinions, as is he and only him and God know the true intentions of his heart. Me though, I interpret them as largely malevolent. I don't see him ever engaging in good faith, and when he does this presentation of facts, one, he'll never do it in facts that fucking support me. For two, he does this bullshit hedging so that he doesn't have to be wrong, and he can just casually push conspiracies and unfounded things onto whoever he wants. Like because he never has to own it, because it's never his true position, because he's not arguing from like a matter. Like I said, we haven't made it to the opinionated section yet. We haven't made it to where you get to express your own thoughts and beliefs. He's just talking on a factual level and, quite frankly, skewing these, misrepresenting them, and quoting these things in a vacuum without greater context to further his point. Whether he realizes that or not, well, no, he's a manipulative bitch. So yes, he realizes it. And I call him a bitch because he's not man enough to own the fact that yeah, these are my opinions. I don't trust the government. I don't do these things. He only owns it and stands on it when it's convenient. And quite frankly, it's bitch mode. Like there's no other word for it. Nigga's a pussy. Nigga is a flat, bare bones, bitch made ass, bare back, bread in the dick in the booty ass bitch. He is. He, I'll stand on it. I'll stand on shit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fuck it. Oh shit. Guess I gotta go back to the lab. He'll never do that. Why? Because he refuses to change his idea about reality, his perspective. And so because that's the basis of him, if he always hedges, he never has to admit the fact that he's wrong. And if he never has to admit the fact that he's wrong, he never has to adjust his worldview. Sad to say. I sent my boy Thomas basketball sub. I value your opinion on factual hypotheticals, but I wouldn't send things to you and ask your thoughts. I sent my boy Thomas basketball stuff. Deontay relationship. You're a person that send political stuff. It's really that simple. A nigga takes a moment and runs a mile. I get it, but save that for the moderately educated. If you're that pressed, I'm just texting you to let off my edge. G, cool. I guess you feel that way. Not a feeling, but a fact. Good night, bro. So that's about that. This section right here is the stuff I haven't read. Yeah, you have different friends for different reasons, and yeah, we engage in different levels with different people, right? Some people are serve certain roles in your life, and I served the political role in his life. Sorry, Elijah just got back. But that being said, yeah, he manipulates language. He manipulates statistics. He manipulates studies, such as let me continue. Um, some more stocks that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Trump tells Putin to put an end to the war. He because Trump said he was going to impose sanctions. Sanctions have been again with no historical context. Sanctions have been on Russia since fucking 2014, since Obama. Well, I guess early in 2014 because Obama's whatever. But let me see some lady boy shit. He he dishonestly represents gender. He claims he has an understanding of the trans issues, but quite frankly, he doesn't. Yeah, a bunch of other bullshit that we've gone over in previous videos. I wish I had more examples of him manipulating language as blatantly as he does, but these are just kind of like in general, kind of what we got going on, man. He I know he does it on purpose because sociopath, psychopath, like this is planned, intentional language. It's not just a quirk of his personality. It's just not like he's uncommitted to things. He very much is firm and staunch in his ideas, but even some of the most firm and staunch ideas that he holds, he often doesn't represent in a important like in a certain this is my stance manner. He consistently doesn't do this. Even when I ask him shit about the Bible and God, is God omnipotent? Nigga wants to sit there and think about maybe. What, bro? I say I own that shit the moment you say it. And I don't believe in it. I'm not necessarily subscribed to your idea of a Christian God. But here I am, and I'll say that shit in that next moment. So that being said, y'all, man, that's today's bullshit. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Is he a manipulative dick bag? My answer is yes. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and catch y'all next time. Adios.